Let's Jaji Sunga Droning thing about Punge, Kyo Nabatan, the Najiki, Soja, Namba Samala, Kumu Thomas and Jashi.
Greetings to all the participants. I want to make these greetings a little short. So, in the upcoming presentations also, each speaker will be coming up with the greeting words. So I just want to say our Geshema, her name is not Yundin Punso, her name is Tshuelzin, Geshema Punso Tshuelzin. And she's a wonderful scholar from the Bon tradition. And she, first of all, before she begins her presentation, would like to extend Tashidele to everyone here.
Ngage tring jobja de yungrong pongilo la sunga ge koni ane di khapjong de sunga langon jugji jeba mete chongas da chidang sunga langon jugji langdu ngaso thoma sunga ge nyamle che go baina tuba dang samba do gomba du chin go re jezan tire ndu thoma de tubi shera de kechembo jendu de pecha taya dang loya da tire le samno tane di khapjong de chebai.
So the title of my presentation is actually entering into the slide.
I just roughly translate entering the path of Vajrayana.
Okay, it's the title, right? So the last part of this title, it says Mutik Tangwa. It's the garland of pearls. And Geshema is emphasizing that this garland of pearl is going to present you about the teaching of Vajrayana, or the secret mantrayana. And secret mantrayana teaching, if you need to understand that, you have to rely on three modes of education, which starts with hearing, then contemplation, and meditation. And this one actually focus on obtaining the wisdom of understanding the teachings through hearing wisdom.
Ngundu tam la de digi nanglo la nge khareti re la na yungrong bonde boge chulok saji doje hajang ge ane loju rungbo pena mlochik te jetong hlas do chin shege yore jezan tinde de digi yungrong bonge tarob de teng sabo imba dang ane jakhab jinda ne tinde je tawa ji le shege da boge saji doje ge chulok ji chade yore tinde yende ngason rai na de la ji nyamjep ji ko ya de be chulok sinda ji na de keche mu ji chade gi dos o de nguleng gi tam nang le tin ri chu yo.
So in this preface introductory note, I would like to this whole slide mentions about the history, a brief history of the Yungrung Ben teachings. And Yungrung Ben teachings is actually something of a native to Tibet, and it flourished since 18,000 years on till now. It has been existing, and to research and investigate such teachings is actually responsibility for every scholar. So that is the reason she wants to present here, so that everybody could actually get to do more researches on such historic teachings.
Today the Yungrong bonde loju rungbo chiri de ina danda nyamslenge da nyungyong ro cha de yore de cha go yum se kan de charsina ani nyamcha mongbo je che yore de nanglo la loju la ji repshi de da ngama re na ni dang de mongbo thoya me cha Yungrong bonde metek be ge chure se ge ani mamchu bo ge da karsna ji lam ge na da jilam dresong ge namja yo mare se tinde lokpa she den ge khashe ji jong yo re je sa tinde du nyamcha chi ne da nyamle chingi di hajang ge nyungyo cha song bare.
So the tradition of Bon has actually faced a severe declination, and those who are actually practicing this tradition is also very, very less. And the reason is it faced so many declination factors. And for example, even in Tibet, they were alleged as a mutikpa, or some kind of an outsider kind of a teaching in Tibet. And some even go to the extent of criticizing this Bon teaching, that they don't teach the essence of path, ground, path, and the Prussian. So they are actually absence of these three essential factors. Such are the allegations made by others. And then because of such factors, it could not really flourish. And that is the reason why we have a declining and a very fading numbers of practitioners today.
Tadi chalai na jakap tsuno mambo jen kyo mambo jege ne yongrong pong la nyamjep jena tawa kata je chao ja jedang kuncho song yingcho nebje kelen ba do tawa jilam drevo ge namja yoba de phache ge jena shimjok padang kheba ina changma ge shege yores.
So, but in this day and age, we have been receiving increasing numbers of researchers and scholars who are genuinely interested in this kind of a teaching. And when they have actually dived into these teachings through their researches, they have actually found out very much essential teachings that is found within Buddhism also, like such as starting from the primordial purity teachings taught in the Buddhisms, like Dzogchen Buddhism, and also like three jewels that is Köncho Sum presented in Buddhism. They are actually equivalently found being expressed in these teachings, and this is unanimously accepted by the scholars of our time.
That ring a job that it's not in wrong Poland, do don't nga same some yore, Tindi Indu, Tigi Nani, Nagi cola job that the chadi use.
So now, as we dive into the Bon philosophy, it consists of the sutra, the mantra, and the mind. So today, our focus is on the mantra.
Ngagi nanglo yongrong pong ge tumo mai pa ge shedang la ni thikparamba gazu tinde chi yore thikparamba ge nangni do ge thikpala na re jensini ji thikpala na thikpa je ji ani rew nga ji thikpala thikpa nga she go yore de ge nangni rew nga ji thikpa nangni thikpa nga ti nangni thikpa je ti songha rang tang ani thama di zopa chembu gi thikpa do sin she ge yore tinde ndi that thikpa je ko de ni zo rew nga ji thikpa nangni zo she Tikpa ramba ga ino ni jensini ji tikpa je rew nga ji tikpa nga inang ni ani thamadi zogba chimbu gi tikpa chaga ore de zogba chimbu gi tikpa di nga gi tikpa nang la cho da jaga yore yigi kaps ngas.
So in the general philosophical setting of Bonism, it presents 9 vehicle system. And in the 9 vehicle system, there is a sutra vehicles as well. And in the sutra vehicles, there are 4 of them. And when you add the 5th one, it becomes the Vajrayana, Mantrayana vehicle. And again, if you get inside the Mantrayana vehicle, you will have 4 more. And then the 5th one will be the Dzogpa Chenpo Sung Rol. The 5th one is the Dzogpa Chenpo. But here, our Geshema is going to emphasize on the mantra vehicle essence.
The Pombogi Tawan Tado Dilana, Zopa Chimbugi Tawati Chadi Gorin, Do Ilani, Pongza Zochin, Nagilani, George the Lada, Gada, and Recomiachi, Tawan Tado di, Zopa Chimbugi Tawa Kellingoris.
So the Mantrayana of Bonism, actually the ultimate teaching is actually the great perfection.
That training as Hagi Koni, Inzang again, Doi Kodang, Zoba Chimbugu Koni, Shiazo, and Bezo Chigme, Rangi, Sunha Shiba, the Kandichi Logo, Stiki Koni Shiai.
So now I will actually emphasize on the mantra alone, and I will not focus I will neither focus on Sutrayana or the Ati Yoga teachings, the Mahayana or the Great Perfection teachings. My focus will be on the Mantrayana aspect. And here I would like to give an explanation about why it is actually called as secret vehicle or secret mantra vehicle.
Last time ago, Tangbo Songa she the Nyamli Maje Bengola, Sang Shiba the Kandichil Gogo those, Nga Shiba the Karikogo those, Tik Diningi Tondadi, Kechemboji Tshuelzin.
So I feel it is important to understand these two terminologies, the secret and mantra.
Songa Shibi Tik de la Chitang Kosa Mambochido in a Pecha Manda, Dan Kepa Manda Wada, any Pecha Manda Venola. Kosa Mambochido, Narangi, Tonjasige, Pombu, Yungdong Pongi, Pecha, Nalola, Kepa Kashege, Sonja, Batting, Dino, so Lungriche, or Chisa, Digi, long to so much Shiagi, Beso Chigi.
So regarding the secret aspect, there are different definitions given by different scholars. But what I have studied across the Buddhism, there is some tantric sources that talks about the values and definition or the characteristics of secrecy. So based on this, I will make an attempt to explain here.
The Namju Namado na Yonda Kandishi Yorlana, Sungage, Nyamlin Dang, Sungage, any Choka Changli, the Wonglong Chison to so, or Mambo Yosala, share your Maresa, no the Dimbi Kansa, Rangli Shigurmato, no the Medibi Kansa, Shevaina, and it Tawa Laundry down, Tepa Laundry at in the Chagi Yores, that is Shag Yore, Tindi into Tigikone, any long Kashaji Trang, your thing in Mashai.
So secret here is actually, it is understood that the profundity of this Bon teaching should not be divulged to the masses. So if you have to do that, you have to share it or instruct to those disciples who are actually capable of receiving that. The right disciple, you have to get it to them, these teachings. Otherwise, you are not allowed. The secret aspects includes giving empowerment, sharing pit instructions, and providing interpretations about these secret teachings. So this should not be divulged out to those people who are not ready to receive them. And if you did it, they will misuse them, misunderstand them, and it will, in the end, lead both the parties to ruin. So this is what it is understood by the concept of secrecy here. And there are certain scriptural references, and this I will try to explain it here.
Last Sunga Gikorde, Tandanga Digi Nalola, Pecha Lungri, Jejawegi, any logic down, Tiso, Soma Meva surgery. Numbers of youngs, Tinde, Pombuki Pecha, down, Tandagi, Nagi Chesom to the Shinju Karsinachi, Zingi Trovaina, Nagi, Bugi Insta, Digi Nani, Tanda de Lungri Jejawegi, Kebakon, Kashechege, Pena, Ponji, Jinde Chembon, Rongolo Jamsi, Konambagi. Songjaga de the Kong Kadu Tongers in the Turap Junigi Nala Tongore, Tilas Obegi, any Kepa Kashegi song attending a long issues.
So there are, especially in my dissertation here, I have provided ample references about scholars mentioning about the secret concept. And I also rely on one of the great scholar, 12th century scholar as well, who mentions in detail about what it means by secrecy. And if you want to know more about other tantric sources in Buddhism, I will be very glad to share this, if anybody is interested, this dissertation and the citations that I have made.
The Konambagi Karisondolana, Mago Lota Namla Sang. Leji Toma Tonga, Songa she's a Japanese, young Pecha Tagarang or Jean Teniles, Ninsek Loshi Jila Song, Tapchong Shira Mela, Song, Teddy Ombo Nolanga, Laundu, taking Jiffy de Kandich Kogo Saresina, Pena, Mago Lota Chi Laundu, sungha ge tonde sungha ge nyamle de susu gi cho jula yon tak ba ze jo ma thom na se gi namba ta pena jodo la so ba dang tin ri chi sungha ge langle chowa chale nang la dama da mangbo chi yore che sang de so la ta ne ani lo da jin rong ge gang sa de so la sangwa chi go gres shi ning ma res ta se la ma nga la ya de ma she ba tin ri ge che ge namba de rang la ta ma de ba ti ge ta wa dang gomba dang joba tinri ge nyamni ten sabo teso so ton de lin timgi ge konza teso la ani ma shi go re shi be tonda insares nga shi be tonde
nga sheba gi den
nga shi ba de ma she be ge tonda pe na shirap no bo teso la ma shirap no la ndu sungha ge nyamni ge no to dimbi konza teso la ma shi go res ani no to mede be konza teso la sangwa chi go res no to mede pa teso sangwa ma je wa ina ko so la ani pin le no che gris kar sin na lokta chin ro gris lokta che bi gi jimse de kan cha yo la na sungha ge ani choga chagling gi nang lo la ta pe na ji te gi na ba mang bo che ta jodo la so ba mang bo chi yor wa teso la te ne pe che lokta chin ro go yo sare.
So one of the reasons why you should not divulge the secret teachings of Mantrayana or Buddhism is because there are some very, very unconventional teachings and practices that if you reveal it to those people who are not ready to digest that, then probably they will actually misuse that or misunderstand them in a way that in tantric practices there are practices of liberation activities and then also kind of what you call copulation practices where a couple union is also used, unity of a couple, or like liberation is something that relates to some sort of a killing in the what is the negative forces and or suppressing the negative forces, so on. So these things looks very, very mundane if you look at them. And then looking at this kind of the way that this exists across the mundane life, people will think this is same as the mundane world, a mundane activity, and then start to misunderstand, and then they would go into doing this mundane activity, thinking this is what is taught in the Buddhism or the teachings. So this is a very risky thing, risky understanding. So in order to avoid such situation, you must not reveal these teachings to the unready disciples who are not ready.
Ta sungha de ani shirap nombo te so la ting go bi jimse kar chagor la na shirap nombo de no to dembi kongza la temba ina ani thaba do thamchi chimbi kongbo rombo chi yan ro du lam dru nyowa tong jowa yore sa man do le be de penan do la ka ba tromi ngan ro ji thogo na sungha la ka ba tromi song ge nang la thaba do thamchi chimbi kongbo thogu res lam dru nyubi jimse la tene ani shirap nombo te so la sungha ge nyamni te so tene yakbo yo sares.
So then, if it is so risky, why do you need to teach this kind of a teaching? Yes, you can still teach. It is useful for the brilliant students, people who are wisdom-oriented, kind of very intelligent or smart students. If they can actually practice and understand them, this will enable to achieve the Buddhahood, the enlightenment, very, very efficiently, swiftly, and easily. Because if you rely on the sutric part, which is free of these mundane activities, which is more appealing and respectable for the society, those teachings would actually take you some 3 kalpas and all. But this teaching, it's so powerful, and then if you rely on this, you can achieve realization within a short span of time.
Chidong nga lang du ta namju nga zo nimba sa na yedang soso ge pe na da yedang mandawa soso ge nga la ko sa mangbo ji do te la nga te la yang nga do nga do nga dang ani che zong la so ba tin nga mangbo ji ko yo res kam de de ge nga di mai ba ne soso nyamli le cho ja na tu sina sam no tong go ye chi instant da jo ja de.
So now the mantra part. Mantra could be actually of different categories. There is kind of a awareness mantra, sutra mantra, then Dharani mantra, and many are there. But this mantra doesn't refer to them exactly. It refers to this kind of a powerful methodological practice that could deliver us to realization within short span of time. So these are actually what it is referred to by the concept of mantra here.
Tande nyamlin la condition so jo jaguar la waina songa ge kap nyamlin de pena nang ge sem yishi se je pa sem yishi se donga yishi se jo jo de dai xie dong dong do cha do tomo de so ge wang se ma sho ba de yishi se ya je ba ta ani nang chu ge sem je de so karsina la do la mu ge rang ji je ba ta这怒本来之前拿啥当啥都是啥的做，来也空个让其是叫你做起来，安尼伢们去搞是嘞。
So, but how do you put them into practice? So, when you put these powerful methods of mantra, is like to transform our inner mind, the negative kind, what you call negative mental states, like desire, hatred, ignorance, jealousy, and so on. This must be, using these powerful methods, transformed into primordial wisdom, the wisdom that is possessed by only the enlightened beings. And then, having said that, as you look outward in the outside world, you will be seeing other sentient beings as well. And these sentient beings, you should visualize them or to understand them and realize them as deities, male and female enlightened deities. And then, for example, we see the forests and mountains and trees and so on. This, you should be able to see them as the celestial mansion or the pure land. So this is where we could actually call as the mantra.
De jago bi jimsi la na re sungha la yan de dagja ga tongba shiram mo ge song ane tongbi tingde melong go go ji yore digi nanglo de sungha shi jobi gi jimsi namba je go ni shi yore.
So the past teacher of this Bonism is actually the great teacher Tenpa Shenrab. And he mentions like 4 elements that actually qualifies what it means by the secret mantra.
Jede devati nyo de thapa cheba tang ya ne lam de cheba tong mai pa la ta ne gomba tang de ni ron la choba du je da de nyo de thapa cheba la ne dangi ko ni shiba nang ji ani jinsin이 지득바다 많이 봐. 저 송아제 특바 냥리 제바이나 야 상제제 공부 뇨와니데 토거레스 뇨블라도 조고야 터비기 점세.
So of the 5, first one is the swiftness or the quickness to achieve the enlightenment. And why you need to rely on this mantra practice is because it is so swift, so fast in delivering you to enlightenment.
Number year do mai pala tane gombada teso kariko gorizana rangi pena la da ko do tenrige rangi se gombaji rangi ge pena tan no ayor rangi no ati so tanda rangi no ata mai pa namba nui ge namba di jin de jorwa chi la ko yo sares
jin
pena tanga de jina tanda kalsona sem yishi se jorwa 아니 노주 가르스나 노주도 솔라도 라무 랑기스 제와 세이게 노도 라다 자예게 랑기스 제와 랑도 나바 힌도 제와치 나바 연.
The second element is actually you should be able to view these ordinary visions in a transformative way. It's actually you have to transform these mundane visions aligned to the ultimate vision, which is like you see sentient beings as the deities, you see your own negative afflictions particularly, as the expression of the primordial wisdom, and then the places where we live in should be seen as the celestial mansion or the Buddha field or the places where only enlightened beings could actually dwell. So this is the second element.
That didn't go into Napa country pena Songha ge nyamle cheung do rangi lar gomba da nga bombu ge lo na khandro thuji kondo je tinde yore rangi khandro thuji kondo ge gowa ina ani rangi nang la cha da yeka do yoma da tela so be ge cha la so ba chi na ani la de ra pa thezong mai pa nuba tinde yoba che da yang tinde chi chi go re so da de lai nang ba jo ya se de rangi de lai nang ba chi gomba chi la go yo se res.
So di sumba marwa
danda de ge nga so
number
jo la ya de ta pe na number country chu gong go la na rangi ge pe na rangi ta yeda kare na ta bombu ge lo la khandro thu je kondo de nga khandro thu je kondo gong go na khandro thu je kondo de rakpa thezo ge number je mai pa ne ni chu gong go res.
So basically the second part, like transforming your perception, is like especially there is a meditative process where you will be visualizing your own body as the body of the enlightened being, something called as Khandro Thuki Korlo, the wheel of the Dakinis heart. So this actually introduces us to visualize that you are not going to be, we are not ordinary just as we perceive. We are all enlightened, and you should also look that into your own body, and that kind of a perception is called the transformative part.
La so tu chi ta train nga gi tam shi den jok zo ma so tini train den ala sungha ge ko ni jaji gi dolin she wa ngara thma tombo yin la ro le ba ten thma tombo yin khyo mombo chin ja song ro ge sa cha ta ni yem mombo chin ja so pe me se wa ge chi bo chong ta ling ge ko de chin ke ge ane ko de gi chobe gi chom da dang ge jab jo dong ro ra nang ge chang ma la ni thao ba ni ka de che che.
Very apologetically, Geshema is saying I couldn't finish my actually whole presentation due to time. And then this is my first time participating in this Vajrayana conference and my first visit to Bhutan. I really found this country very exceptionally and phenomenally beautiful, and I feel only joy here. And the organizers of this conference, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. And Tashidele.